All right. So I'm on the phone, Mr. Dean Pendleton. Dean has, we've talked quite a few times, and Dean, you've got the Terahertz Wands. You've bought quite a few of these. You just called me the other day to get at least another one or two, and you're from kind of my neck of the woods, which is Minnesota.
That's correct.
I told you when I saw that 507 coming in, I'm like, gosh, is this one of my old friends from high school? Or is this actually somebody that is calling me for business related stuff? But I'm always happy to talk to people back in kind of the area that I grew up. So, Dean, you're using the Terahertz Wand. You've actually gotten some, quite a few people that you've gotten access to that.
Right.
So why don't you go ahead and just introduce yourself and tell us about your experience with the Terahertz Wands and kind of what you've seen them do to help you and your family and friends.
Okay, yeah. Hi, my name is Dean Pendleton. I was introduced by this Terahertz Wand by a friend of mine. His name I won't say, but he's told me that we should investigate this type of technology. And so I did, and it took about a year or so to really soak it in my mind about what the effects are, and it turned out to be really excellent for me. And what I did was I purchased one from you, Sean, and after that, a lot of good things happened. What happened was I tried it on my knee, I tried it on my arms, my hands. And I had a bad knee at that time because I played a lot of softball during my younger days, and I kind of beat up my body a lot. So it actually helped me when I drank the water first. I think that's the key. The water is amazing, is what I was told by a lot of my friends and family. So what happened was I used it for a day, and my knee started working pretty good. It was working great. And then I used it the next day, and it was working so good. I started actually running on it. So
Wow.
it was amazing to me also. So like I said, my friend, he helped me. We worked on it together, and I said, I'm going to buy one. So that's kind of what came about when we purchased that wand, and it's been working for me really good. My wife's used it. We've all used it. So it's been really useful to me, and I'm glad that I actually purchased that item, because now my body's feeling better. My life has kind of changed in a way, in a good way, because I also practice, since I'm a Native American, we practice our religion is healing, part of the healing part of that. So, and this runs parallel to that. So it's a very good product. I'd like to say that.
That's fantastic. So when you first started using it, it was a friend of yours that had it, that you got access to use it. Was that kind of how you got access when you first started using it? Was through a friend of yours?
Yeah, this friend of mine, he had visited the website, and we talked about it. We would go back and forth, and he actually said we should get one of these, and I said I think I'll get one, and then we'll try it out. And that's what we did, and and since then we've used it together. He's used it, and he had a bad shoulder. I said I'll be right down there, because he lived a couple hours away from me. So I drove there, and we used it on him, and he used it once, and it hasn't come back since. And that's been about 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I know you've shared some other stories. There's been other people that you've kind of come in contact with that you've also used the wand with. Other people that have had various different issues with pain, stiffness, soreness that you've also kind of shared that with. Is that right?
That's correct. My mother, she was in she had serious arthritis, and her, she's about 78 years old. And I told her, I said, would you like to try this? She said, I'll try anything to get rid of this pain. And I said, well, let's try it. So we tried it, and we did her fingers, and she drank the water, and the next day she was feeling so good. She had two fingers that locked up, and the next day the fingers weren't locked up. She was moving them a lot better. She said she had no more pain. She was in such a good mood that I couldn't believe it. She had this like glow to her too. It seemed like she was a changed person.
Mhm.
And it's been happening with everyone that I went to. I went to help these people that needed this. They had arthritis. My friend Randy, he had the same thing. My other friend, she had the same thing. She had arthritis. I went there, did the same thing, and I had the same results every single time. And Randy's 67. This other lady, she's at least 70 years old, and they had bad arthritis, and they
Mhm.
couldn't believe it. They couldn't believe it. I'm so happy that my friend introduced this to me, got me on the website to listen, and I listened, and in that result, I helped at least 10 people by now, and they're all satisfied, and they're actually trying to get the money to buy one. So some of them don't have that kind of money.
Well, honestly, we could talk when we get off the phone, but I will basically, I'll send them out to, I mean, whatever I need to do. And if I need to send out some free ones, I will, because I don't want people not getting it because of money. So we can talk about that later.
Okay,
But,
okay.
honestly, Dean, number one, thank you so much for jumping on the call, because it's just nothing more satisfying to know that you're doing work that's really helping people, number one. But number two, as I've told you before, and other people have seen the videos now. I know you follow the channel, and we get to know some of the people, because we're kind of making this group of people around the country and around the world that
Right.
are kind of getting access to this technology. And it's just so important when people can share their own personal story,
Right.
and I really appreciate that, and you taking the time to come on the call to do that. And I talked to Randy, your buddy Randy. I
Right.
mean, I was on the phone with him for a half an hour. He's another Minnesota guy,
Yep.
and and just hearing the feedback of all these people and the benefits that they're getting. And I don't think a lot of people really understand how being in pain and discomfort really starts to alter your lifestyle. I think that the sad part of it is that starts to become normal, and your way of life becomes normal, just accepting that that's the way it is. And it does, like you were saying, it restricts a lot of the things you can do. So just hearing, that you were able to go out and start running, prior to that, how long it had been before you actually were able to be out running? How long had it been before you'd used the wand? You're actually doing that?
Well, it had been a long time, and I'd say about a year, almost a year
Hmm.
and a half, because I was in pain for the longest time, and my wife said, you need to go to a doctor and get that leg of yours fixed. And I said, no, I think I'm going to try do a little physical therapy, and because I knew how to try to work it out and try to get it better with my muscles, and it never did work. And then I can't believe it. It came to me, the wand, and it actually healed my knee faster than um, if I was to exercise.
Hmm.
So what happened was, I actually, when it felt better, I started to exercise even more, because I was in no pain no more, and that was
Hmm.
the good part about it. When you're not in pain, you somehow you want to exercise to get those muscles back to where they used to be, and then when you
Hmm.
do that, then you're going to be fine for a long time. But see, I couldn't do that with the way they were. So does that make sense?
It does, yeah, because yeah, I mean, but once you get that mobility back, then you want to be able to go out and do that and kind of get that blood flow and get all that, back in gear and kind of recover from some of that atrophy, right? Because when you're not able to use it, you kind of get a little bit of atrophy. And Randy shared a lot of things about you guys. I know you've known each other for a very long time, but he did talk about the fact that you were a very athletic person and a very good athlete. And I know you guys traveled all over the country playing softball.
Right.
So, when you're used to having those facilities and you're used to being an active person, and especially, being a pretty high level athlete, when that's sort of diminished a little bit, it like I was saying before, it sort of changes your lifestyle and what you want to plan for the day and what you're going to do on a daily basis, because you just don't want to tweak things and make them any worse.
Exactly. And that gave me, like I said, a new life. Now I'm planning for the future because I know I'm going to be healthy, and I'm trying to work that into my everyday process, so that I can actually be a better person too. So that
Right. And a couple of things that I just want to talk about. The first thing is, I really appreciate what you said first about the water.
Yeah.
You talked about the water, putting these wands, putting that light in the water and charging that water. I've said it on many videos, but what it does is breaks up the clustering of water molecules. Water molecules have a tendency to cluster. And so when the wand energy hits it, it lines all the water molecules up in a linear fashion so that they can be absorbed directly into the cell. And then you're bringing that terahertz charged water molecule into the cell, and that's assisting with cellular function, and it's assisting with detoxification. But now, once you've got that level of hydration with those water molecules in the cell, when you're using the wand, you're getting a better outcome. And I'm hearing that over and over and over. And if there's anything I can impress upon people, please don't skip that part of using the wand. Like, it's just so important. In this story, you're starting off with that, but I really want to thank you for bringing that up, because that really does enhance the outcomes and the goal, especially with people, that have various different issues of pain and swelling and arthritis. Do everything you can to get the best possible outcome. And that's a really big part of that process.
Well, it is. And like you said earlier, I had the lady friend of one that lives in our community here. She did it once, and she didn't even use the wand, and she drank the water, and she could feel it already, because she had something wrong with her. Like, she had COPD is what she had. And she could breathe immediately better. And she called me on the phone right after she drank the water, and she's actually told me she was going to call me tomorrow. And she drank the water and called me a half hour later and said, "It's amazing." She said, she's a smoker. She's a chain smoker, and she still smokes, but she said she could breathe so much better right after she drank the water. And then the next day, she said she slept all night. She never did that before. And she said she was feeling so much better. And actually, her complexion, when I seen her the next day, was so much better than the day before. And that was also kind of weird. I was like, "You look good today." And she said, "You know what? I feel like a brand new penny." She said, "I can't believe it." She says, "I got to buy me one of these." I said, "You should." I said, I just wanted you to check it out and see what you feel and what you think." And that's the only thing that I've been doing to these people. I've never forced it onto them to say, "Here, you should do this. You got to do this." They did it on their own. I left the wand there. I showed them how to use it. And the results are incredible. And I just have to say I want to thank you too for all of everything that you've helped me a lot, and some of the knowledge that I need to explain these things, because it's actually kind of hard to explain if you don't
Mhm.
know some of the information. So,
Right.
and I'm learning a lot more on that information, and I'm actually learning a whole lot more. So, and I don't mind learning. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, even with myself, because when I first saw it, it was so foreign to me. Even though I was in the medical industry selling medical equipment, this technology is not like technology we've seen before. And, really what it is, it's a culmination of multiple technologies in one device. So, there's a lot of things in there, but I always emphasize the quantum scalar technology, scalar waves, scalar energy. That's the energy that comes from the sun. Technically, you could take a piece of copper wire, put it in the ceiling, run it down into a plant in a basement, and you could grow the plant just from the scalar energy hitting the copper wire and bringing it down to the plant. Scalar energy basically is the energy that creates photosynthesis that makes plants grow. So for your cells in your body, it's very, very, very powerful. And then you've got the terahertz frequency, which is the frequency that our cells resonate at. Initially, what's happening with a lot of the stuff that's going on is that there's a stagnation of energy. All these scientists before us were finding out that when the vibration of your cell starts going down, your energy level, that kind of allows things to start backing up. Then the energy backs up. Many times it's been referred to me like a river going downstream. When you start getting trees coming in and falling into the river, it starts slowing down the flow of the river, very much like it does with the stagnation of energy. So when you're bringing that terahertz frequency, all the cells start vibrating at their potential, and that gets everything healthy. And even through other people that I've talked to, that's allowing cells to detoxify, release toxic materials that they've been sitting with. It allows them to absorb nutrients again. It gives them the information and the energy that they need, to become healthy. And then you've got the quartz crystal, which is basically, obviously quartz crystal, the material of that is very, very powerful. And then you've also got far infrared. So you've got far infrared, you've got quantum scalar, you've got quartz crystal, and you have the terahertz frequency. And all those things simultaneously working together are extremely powerful. So, these are all the technologies that you're getting. And the thing about that wand is that, it's penetrating 8 to 10 inches deep in the body, right? So when you're using it, technically it does have the blue light and you can see the blue light, but your eyes are not able to pick up that light spectrum with the far infrared, and they can't see the scalar, but all those things are basically there. And, when you're using that, you're getting that culmination of all those different technologies in one. But that's a device that when you kind of get it all put together, really has a lot of benefits. And the thing I was going to say about that also, and I don't know if we didn't really touch on this, but if some of the past videos, 1 hour of that terahertz wand is showing to be as effective as 10 hours of acupuncture. So in addition to the water, Dean, I'm going to make sure we get off the call. I'm going to send you those instructions again, because I have that web page. It's on USA MedBed Terahertz Wands instructions.
Yep.
But what I'm learning is that if you can use it on the palms and you can use it on the feet for 5 or 10 minutes, say 5 minutes on the palms, 5 minutes on the feet, and then on the ears. And you can, on that acupuncture thing, like I'm thinking about that woman that has the issue with the lungs with COPD.
Yeah.
You can see right on the palms and right on the balls of the feet where the lung and heart section is located. So if you can start using it on those areas as a warm-up, even before you get to the chest and even before you get to the areas that you want to work on, you're immediately sending energy into those parts of the body. So the water going and finding, and you can get an acupuncture even if you don't get on the website, but you've got the link. But anybody out there that's watching it, I guess you could call it reflexology. It goes under very many different things, but we all know acupuncture with like ancient Chinese medicine is thousands of years old. It's very well documented. All those meridians and all those different energy spots in the body, using it there, and then drinking the water, or drinking the water first, then using it, then going to the actual areas that you need to focus on.
Right.
And Dean, some of the testimonials, and see, that's why I greatly appreciate you sharing this, because there was a lady, Melody, who was using it on the acupuncture points. She had a sinus infection. As soon as she hit the sinuses on the balls of her feet, she instantly drained out all that congestion before she even got to the actual nasal passages.
Really?
And
I didn't know all that.
Yeah, and there's a girl that I just interviewed. Her name is Carrie, and we're actually doing a fundraiser for her this month, because she has a nonprofit. And I was with her in Las Vegas a couple months ago, and she had a lot of pain in her arm, and I don't know what was going on. The minute I hit that part of her feet, she immediately felt the energy going through her arm, and literally could say, wow, I already feel this is coming through, just by getting, I was just I didn't even get to the actual arm yet. Right. So incorporating those acupuncture points and, drinking the water and just going through this process is just like, if you can do all those things, the goal is to get the best possible results for the time that you're going to use it. And, Dean, I don't know if I shared this with you earlier when we were talking, but I did have a very casual sort of lackadaisical attitude about, oh, I'll get to the water. But now I'm really like serious about doing it. And I don't have real serious health issues. I don't, but even maintaining good health, using it on your thyroid, helping your body detox, using it for a few minutes on your liver, helping your body detox, just all these different things. I'm even I'm using it back here. That call I did with Daniel, he's charging the water, spraying it on top of his head, and he's actually growing hair. I mean, you can see, right, where there's hair that's growing in that he didn't have, for the last 20 years. Right. So it's people like yourself sharing these stories, and we all kind of share with each other. And through that process, we're helping each other, kind of use the technology to kind of help each other share ways that we can help each other get, the better results and the better outcomes. And that's why I really appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Well, you're absolutely right, Sean. It's all that information needs to be told, and it needs to be talked about, especially when it comes to healing. I mean, healing is one of the most important things that we need to do as a human being. And I think that this product that you have will help a lot of people once they, they have to, like they say in softball, you have to get in the batter's box to hit the ball. If you don't get in the batter's box, well, then you're not going to see results, right?
That's right. That's right.
So that's kind of how me and Randy talked about the wand. If you're not going to get in the batter's box, well, then there's no chance of you hitting the ball.
That's right.
It's like the wand. If you are afraid of it or whatever, then you won't see results. You'll be still having the same pain that you had that when you came here or when you left. So
that's right.
You kind of
use Dean,
that.
one thing. Yeah, no, absolutely. So one thing I do want to share also is that now, number one, nothing makes me happier than to see the results that you're getting, and you've got them in a very short period of time. Yeah. But sometimes it can take weeks or even months for people to really start seeing the benefit. And people ask me, how long is it going to take? Well, every situation is different. Every person is different. And they'll say, well, how long should I use it for this or that? And I always emphasize, it's not about the length of time you're using it. It's about the consistency. It's about doing it on a regular basis and sticking with it. And in some cases, it might take a few weeks to really start get the results that you're looking for. Like Daniel's call that I did with him, he's a gentleman up in, I want to say up in the Montreal, but he's up in Canada, the Quebec area. he had one of those hip pointers, you know, that muscle you've got that goes up that connects to the hip that you
Yep.
use when you lift your leg.
Yeah.
And that thing was smoked. I mean, he couldn't lift his leg.
Oh, man.
And it took him a week. Like, he did it consistently for a week. Well, after a week of using it, he really could feel it was getting better. But he
Right.
stuck with it, and it took him 3, maybe even 4 weeks before it was back to the point where he was like, he forgot he even had the injury.
Right.
And it was the
Wow.
consistency of sticking with it. So, you know, results may vary, right? And some people might get, you know, and there's always a chance that nothing will happen. But if you understand the technology, what this is doing to your cells, what it's doing to your body, it's assisting with cellular regeneration, detoxification, circulation, cellular function. It has benefits. Just drinking the water is in itself is a huge benefit when you understand that you're breaking water molecules down into an individual molecule and letting those individual molecules be absorbed directly into the cell. You're getting benefit with all these things. So it should be something that's a lifestyle type of an item. Like, I don't know what you do. I've got it plugged in right next to my bed now. So 10, 15 minutes before I go to bed, I don't have to get up and go get it. It's right there, right next to me. But it's something about being consistent. It's something about, you know, after a certain point of time using this thing, you've done as much good as you can do. So, like, the whole thing about, well, if I got that result in 15 minutes and I'm going to do it for a half an hour, I mean, there are times when your body gets used to it that you could do it twice a day, but after you've done it for a certain period of time, you've done as much good as you can do. The body needs time. It's the body that's doing the work. You're stimulating the cells, you're stimulating the body, because the body naturally wants to be in homeostasis. It naturally wants to be healthy. It's the way your cells, it's the way everything is programmed. And all you're doing is giving your body and cells the energy to do what they know how to do. So it's more about consistency than it is about length of time. And obviously, if you're doing the thyroid, if you're using it on your kidneys, short spurts of time because you're detoxing. You know, there's a lot of things that are out there. I always try to work and talk to people and just give them a little bit of feedback and try to help them. We've got a lot of information on there, but I'm super happy, number one, that you've gotten the results you have, and you've touched so many people.
Yeah.
I mean, you said it's like 10 people now that you've been able to share that with.
At least 10 people. It's been amazing. And like you said, it's going to take some time, but it didn't take much time for these people to feel the results and right away. And they were all amazed, and I am too. But like you said, you have to keep at it and you have to work at it. Just like anything in your life, you have to work at it if you're going to get it done. And a lot of people are like that, you know.
Yeah.
They like to feel, you know, good, and they just don't want to walk around with pain. And
Right.
just glad that I got to go help them by using your wand. And I appreciate everything that you're doing right now. And all those other people that I helped, they appreciate you also. So I wanted to tell you that also, because you're doing a very good job helping people. And I wish a lot of other people could jump on board. I mean, it's something that I do think they'll need. There's some kind of at least stress, or, you know, something that they've had all their life. I know a lot of people that have stress. So I think that, you know, that they should at least try it. And if they don't, then they don't, because there's no one pushing you to do these types of things. It's your body. You can do what you want. But I want to tell you that, like I said, all my friends are appreciative to all of you, that things that you've done, and you've helped us with trying to get the wands to us. And we really do appreciate everything that you've done.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. And, you know, Dean, the thing that's exciting is the people that we're going to still be helping in the future, right? We've just kind of gotten going, but like, with all the people that we've already helped, but what's really exciting is where we're going with this thing in the future. And I shared with you earlier, I meet some of the greatest people Melody, Kirk, Daniel, you, like we're getting a really good group of people together that are sharing their stories. And these are actually becoming like people that I absolutely love them. They're great people. We're all like-minded. You know, all we really want to do is help people, right? And
Right.
as they say, there's service to self and there's service to others. And when we're in that service to others mentality, that's when miracles happen. That's when things start happening. And we're really starting to form a great community of people together. So thank you so much for that. I will say that when we talked earlier today, this afternoon, and you told me about that lady that had the COPD,
Yeah.
that drank the water before she even used the wand and could already feel it opening her up. That made my day. I mean, like, I was like, God, that's amazing. I mean, that's just,
Yep.
yeah,
She was very appreciative because she called me right back. She was going to call me the next day, and
yeah,
she called me right back, and I said, "Well, I'm really glad for you because it it was amazing."
yeah.
So and then, and she's going to try to keep doing it, and she's gonna try to purchase one from you. So I'm sure she'll get to that point, and
Yeah,
we'll
well, do me a favor. I want to, when we get off the phone, I want to set something up where we can get these out to some people. I don't want them to be financially, I want to work something out. We can start doing that because,
okay.
there's enough business coming in where we don't, not every one of these things needs to be sold. And if there's people that need them, that have financial issues, I want to be able to start working with more of those people. I do also have to give credit to Aubrey, who is behind the scenes. And Aubrey, do you want to come over here? Do I have to point the camera at you? We can do it one of two ways, young lady. So everything that I do, I'm on talking to people, but this young woman right here is a super hardworking young lady. She makes everything happen behind the scenes. She's doing the shipping, taking care of all the stuff, all the administration stuff. As I shared with you, Dean, she's got 37 job titles. I don't know which one, it applies every 10 minutes, but she's helping me immensely also behind the scenes. And like with anything, you're only as good as the people around you.
Right.
And I'm very, very grateful that she's working with me now. It's
Having a grand time.
Yeah, we're having a grand time, and she's learning. That's why even tonight, it's 8:15 East Coast time. I'm in Virginia, but she wants to be here because she wants to learn, and she's learning from these calls, what an impact it is that we're having on people's lives. So,
Right. You're doing an honorable thing there, Aubrey, and thank you very much for the both of you for all that you do. It's
Absolutely. It's very inspiring hearing everyone's stories and hearing the authenticity and, how it can impact so many people in so many different ways. And like you said, there's really no downfall. How can you lose? You only have something to gain, which is your health back. And that's something you can't really put a price on.
right.
Yeah.
It's
So
all
Dean,
important.
I'm going to sign off here and let you go. But before I
Okay.
do, is there anything else you'd like to say before we call it an evening?
Well, I think I've covered most of the things that I talked about here today, but no, I guess I'm good.
I love the fact that we got one for your mom.
Oh, she loved it. She
Yeah.
really did, and I appreciate you. You got that to me right away too, and that was very nice. You sent that right away, and she just, it made her a new woman. I mean, she's 78 years old, and she's in awe right now. So she called me today. She calls me every day now, and she said, she calls me and says, "How you doing? I feel great." That's a change from before. A lot of change. And she's now talking about planting flowers in her house and cleaning up her outside, and she could never do that before. She always had to call me, and I had to go over there and help her.
That's awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't tell you how good that feels. I mean, I know I'm on my life's path right now, doing the right thing. And Dean, like I said, we've got a lot of great things we're going to be doing together. I know we talked about some things that we might be able to get going, but together I'm going to do everything I can to assist you. I want to get these in the hands of as many people as possible. As we keep going, there's other technologies I think that are out there that'll also help. but
Right.
we're going to do a lot of good out there. And thanks to people like yourself, taking the technology, sharing it, being a service to others, right? And knowing that you've got these people in your life that could use that.
Yep.
Thank you for doing that, because
Well, you're welcome, and I appreciate coming on here, because I think that's the best thing that I could do, is to come on here and tell people what's happened to me.
right.
Yeah.
Well, Dean, once again, thank you for your time, sir. It's great to, we've talked many times. It's great to see you in person.
Yeah, good to
And,
see you.
you know, thank you to your son and thank you to your wife, because between the
Okay,
two of them,
yeah.
they helped get all the technical stuff worked out for us.
Oh
That's
yeah.
why Aubrey's here, because we need,
Yeah.
you know, we need these talented young people that know how to use all the technology.
Some fresh
Well, we
eyes.
really do. We really do.
Yeah.
We need that.
But thanks to everybody over there at the household, and you
Well.
take care of yourself. We'll be in touch soon.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, but just stay with me
Okay.
for a minute, and I'll wish you a good night, and then we'll
Okay.
circle back. But I'll go ahead and end the recording. So thanks
All right.
again.